I'm going to introduce them soon. My name is Candis Dyer. This is Canna Corner. We are broadcasted every Monday on my Candis Dyer Facebook page live, and as well as on Relevant over there. You can get that from, like I said, the Apple Play or Google Play store. No censorship, and it's broadcasted live over there as well if you want to hear the audio part. And then we've got our sponsors, KM420 Radio, and we broadcast every Sunday at 2. And then WJAE 420 Radio rebroadcast every Wednesday at 2. So you can check it out at all those places. Plus my Candis Dyer or Canna Corner YouTube channel. We just started getting up and going, and it's got like 127 people, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining my YouTube channel. And you can get the edited version over there as soon as I upload it and get it edited and everything. So you can hit the bell over there to get notified every time it comes on. You can hit the bell over here on Facebook to get notified every time it comes on. And I always look at the comments in each area. And if y'all have any questions, feel free to ask. So I wanted to give a big shout out to our newest sponsor, Go Green. Ben Sanchez rocks. Love him so much, as well as the Human Solution International, y'all, the ribbon. We are working with, we are a nonprofit organization working to help cannabis prisoners in a mentor program when they are released. We also do stuff with court support and everything else. So big shout out to them. You can get a hold of us at the Human Solution International on Facebook or thsintl.org on the website. Hit us up. Let us know if you know somebody that's getting out that needs a mentor, or let us know if you've got somebody for court support. Also, one announcement. I'm on Mile High News now with the Wendy Love Edge show on Fayetteville Public Television. I am having a great time doing it. It's all cannabis news. And so y'all go check that out at the Wendy Love Edge show. You can find her on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere, Twitter. And I think YouTube. I don't know if I said that or not. But heck yeah, without further ado, I don't want to keep my guest in the waiting room too long. We have a book series of authors called Courage in Cannabis. And today we've got a special guest with us, Bridget MD Williams. She is coming on, I guess, in AJ's place today. He had a car accident, so please keep your prayers out for him. He's okay. He's just running late. And then we got Candy Flores and Joe Brennan. So I'm fixing to admit all of them. Hey, everyone. How are y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Candace.
Doing great. Doing great. So I'm going to go ahead and take a minute and let y'all kind of introduce yourselves. I'm going to start with Joe just because he's first in line on the computer. And I see that we've got Miss Bridget Williams here with us today, too. So I'm really excited about that. Joe.
Hello.
Hello, love. Joe, go ahead and take a minute to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the book and the story.
Okay, yeah, sure. My name is Joe Brennan from Columbus, Ohio. And my story starts back in 2013. My dad and my uncle both passed away due to pharmaceuticals and chemotherapy. My dad was 61, my uncle was 53. And so that was a really young age for them to pass like that. And so suddenly too, I think that was the biggest thing, was just the suddenness of it. You know, one day my dad just called me and said, Joe, I'm going into the hospital and I don't know when I'm coming out. I said, okay. And, 3 months later, he was gone. And so that happened simultaneously with his brother, my Uncle Tim. He got lung cancer at 53 years old. They started him on chemo immediately. And his last round of chemo, the doctors even said, this will probably be the round that does him in. And, of course, nobody knew what that meant until 12 hours later, he passed away from that from that last round of chemo, and it was a
God.
pill actually. And I remember sitting at his bedside in his house up in Powell, Ohio, and I just remember thinking, how is it that 3 months ago this man was consoling me about losing my father, his brother, just in a hospital in Lexington, Kentucky? How is this possible? And I just saw a frail person in that bed there that wasn't my uncle. And it was not the cancer that did that to him, it was the chemotherapy. And so, I saw that firsthand. And right after that, of course, I was devastated, of course, and I was at my house and I was flipping through the news or through the TV, and I saw what looked like a kid having a seizure. So I said, go back. And I found that special, and turns out it was the CNN special, Weed One,
Right.
with Sanjay Gupta out in Colorado, with them about Charlotte's Web, Charlotte Figi with the Dravet syndrome. And I just saw the mother putting a dropper full of oil under her tongue and the seizure stopping in 30 seconds. And I just had a feeling that it had something to do with cannabis, something inside me. And so I just kept watching. And sure enough, they started talking about CBD, this compound from the hemp plant that doesn't create psychoactivity, but has all these neurological benefits and all this.
Right.
And so I just start bawling like a little baby there, and something just said, you couldn't help your dad and Uncle Tim, but you're going to go help the world with this starting now. And so I just literally took that to heart. My dad always said, if you want to do something good in this life, go help somebody. And so that really just took precedent in my life right there, because he was gone. And I said, well, I guess after, 30 some years, I'll finally listen to you, And so I basically went out and I purchased some CBD with my credit card. I maxed out my credit card with this brand called Plus CBD.
Wow.
They had a little tincture spray that was 1 milligram per serving, which is 2 sprays, and 1 milligram. And I would go around everywhere I went. I would have multiple bottles on me, and I would give it away to old ladies and every old person I saw at every grocery store. And, would give them squirt them right in the mouth. I'd say, hey, do you want to try this? And of course, this is pre-COVID days where a stranger could come up and spray something in the mouth without any hesitation. And so that turned into a big trend for me for a couple years, and people started, calling me back, these old ladies and all these different people with arthritis. And I mean, big muscle bound guys that would take 1 milligram of CBD and call me back and share their story with me. And so I said, okay, well, either I'm going to be educated or I'm going to be a snake oil salesman. And so I decided, to become educated and figure out, is this a fad? Is this placebo? What's going on here? I couldn't believe it. And I've always believed in cannabis, but I've never seen it firsthand treat medical conditions in a way that I started seeing with the CBD.
Right.
And so that basically led to me opening 2016 outlets to sell them CBD. Would say, oh my goodness, this feels like a drug deal. I wish you had a store.
Oh,
and
wow.
So that finally sunk in, and I said, well, how hard can it be to have a store? And so I'd been in real estate my whole life. After I got out of the military in the year 2000, I got my real estate license in 2003. So I had been in real estate for 20 years basically, and I thought, well, how hard could it be to open a store? And so that's what happened. So I just took it step by step and treated the store as if it were my living room, because I was letting people come to my house to buy these products, and I would put on little educational seminars right here in this living room. And I would have kind of like a Tupperware party, if you will. And I'd have these people over and I would explain how it worked and give everybody samples, and they would experience it firsthand. And so the anecdotal evidence just started piling up to the point to where I said, okay, let's learn physiology, let's learn the body, let's learn how life works, and then let's understand the endocannabinoid system. And so all of those things merged with me in a way that was very prolific, because I've always had the puzzle. I was just missing pieces of the puzzle. And when CBD got introduced into my life, it drove me down a rabbit hole of education where I probably have thousands of hours of just sitting in front of YouTube watching Dr. Ethan Russo Dr. Ralph Meshulam, Bob Melamede, Mara Gordon, and all of these people who have been doing this their entire lives, not just some guy in his garage making a YouTube video.
Right.
And so, that's where I got my training from, was pretty much YouTube, until there started becoming establishments that offered accreditations like the Cleveland School of Cannabis and the Trichome Institute out in Colorado with Max. And he's an amazing teacher, teaching all about terpenes and terpene interplay, light years beyond anyone even heard these terms. And so, back in 2013, 2014, I was on the cutting edge of this, and I knew it was going to be revolutionary, and I knew it was going to change the world. And I just found my calling from losing my family members. And so it's led me to where I'm at today, and I wouldn't change anything. And I know my dad and my uncle are, looking down and saying, well,
yes,
good on you for doing this, because you finally did what we've been telling you to do your whole life, is get out there and help somebody else. Forget about yourself and go help somebody else, because that in turn helps yourself.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
It
really does. So when you just focus on other people and helping them, it takes your mind off your problems. You know what I mean? Yeah. And not only that, but seeing other people and how bad they got it, you're like, oh, well, I'm not that bad. We got to help people. We got to get this done. But it does helps us to go help people, for sure. That is an amazing story. Where can people go find this story? I know that we've got the Courage in Cannabis book. You want to explain a little bit about that and where they can find it?
Yeah. So Dr. Bridget invited me to have a part in this book, basically, where we share our stories and testimonies about how we got into this industry. And of course, I jumped on that opportunity because my whole thing was, I want CBD and cannabinoid products and cannabinoid therapy to become the norm and be at every single store. And be first choice. Before I even had my store. Well, your first choice.
Because that could help your uncle and your grandpa if they would have started them out on cannabis instead of all that chemo. And if it didn't help them, then great, you can go to the chemo. But first, let's try this natural cure and quit saying it doesn't cure, because it does. I get so mad when I hear them say, oh, it doesn't cure. We're seeing it shrink tumors, like it cures. But for sure.
System for a reason.
Exactly. Okay, so where can they find this book? I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Okay, so my book is on my website, which is cbdhemphealth.com. You can also Google our store, which is Columbus Botanical Depot. Also .com will get you there too. Both ways will get you to the same website. And we've got them up on there for $20. They're $25, of course, shipped. And so they can check that out there. And our website has a whole vast of CBD products and educational pieces and stories, and all of our affiliates, Dr. Bridget and her organizations on there, and many others here in the local Columbus area.
Heck yeah, man. Thank you so much, Joe. That is a great story. And we all know that I give you major props. Education is the key. Like, that's just it. They spent so much money with DARE and cramming how bad cannabis is down our throats, that we've got to spend that much more cramming the fact that no, it doesn't. It was a lie. They were misunderstood about cannabis, and that we're finding lots of new information out about it every day.
Yep, that is the truth.
Well, heck yeah, Joe. It was so good having you. You are welcome to come on anytime you have anything going on with your story, you want to let people know about, anything like that. You can choose to hang out with us and stay in the background, or leave, whatever is your choice. But next we're going to go
hang out.
Heck yeah. Next, we're going to go over to Bridget MD Williams, y'all. Man, I'm so excited to have you on, love. I love what you're doing. I've been watching you pretty closely lately. Candy told me all about you.
Yeah, very good. And thank you, Andy, for making this relationship. And Candice, you have two of the best humans on the planet with you. So, I'm I'm just here, supporting the wallpaper today. So, but thank you for having us on here. I think the book's been a passion project for everybody involved. And it's been so exciting the whole way through. So I've loved every second of it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. What got your mind running on doing this project?
Absolutely. So I am a family physician by trade, 20 years almost with the Cleveland Clinic. And I was frustrated probably way too early on in my career because patients were asking for care that was very different from what I was offering, right? I was doing factory medicine every 15 minutes. People were in and out, following algorithms. My eyes were stuck on the computer instead of on the patient.
Right.
And I didn't like it either. So long story short, I was frustrated. They were frustrated. One day I just said, let's do it differently. One of the patients that I started sharing this with asked me about cannabis. And I'm a Reagan kid. Nancy said, say no. So I thought it was a little strange, but I knew the patient well. And I was like, okay, I'll look into it.
Right.
Thinking that there was nothing there, right? I mean, you don't learn about this. Blown away by what I was able to pick up and learn. And I was like, well, let's go for it. Like,
right.
None of this was legal at the time. I don't even know if that my mindset was really there.
And major props to you on that, by the way, because being a doctor and having to come out like this, it's not easy. It really isn't. And I thank you so much for taking that step.
Well, I appreciate that. I feel like, to be honest, part of my platform is not only cannabis, but the medical system has gone wayward and has lost sight. We all say excellence and patient first, but I don't know if that's what's really being exhibited.
Right.
And I felt like this was an opportunity for me to really live out what I believe. Right. And so I started helping this woman. She had diabetes. She had just finished breast cancer. She was losing weight. Her blood sugars were normal. This was all mysterious to me.
Right.
She losing her job. She was actually being more productive, sleeping better. Stress was better. I was blown away by the whole thing. And at that point, I knew I wanted to be more involved, but we're in Ohio and it's illegal, and it was 15 years ago. So when it became legal, I wanted to be a part, and I got a job with a card company where they said, we don't care what you know, we just do cards. It's all about the money. I was like, well, that's not all what I want.
No.
So I got, and I knew I wanted to know more. So I got certified, and actually I got certified as a life coach because I knew that was part of what made me different from my colleagues.
Right.
That because I didn't abide by the 15-minute rule at all.
That is awesome, because being a patient, that is a major problem that I have going to doctors, because they're just, oh, you need a refill. Okay. Right.
No, I hated that. So my patients knew when they made an appointment, it might be an hour after that, but they knew when they got in there, I'd be with them for an hour.
Right.
And so it kind of worked out one way or another. Someone had a strep throat and it was in and out in 5 minutes. But the rest of people, I would give them my time. And so I decided to open my own offices. And I didn't want to just do cards. I wanted to educate. And I also wanted to give people my time, and I wanted to in the cannabis community better. So I really was delving in and going to any sort of event that would come up and really engaging with people. And and keep in mind that for that first year, every patient I had that had used cannabis before that moment had been using it illegally, right? They all had these amazing stories about how cannabis, the guilt, the shame, how it changed their life, how they were hiding it, how they were afraid to go to church. And these stories were blowing my mind, because
afraid to have your kids ripped out of your home. Yeah, like that's a big fear of mine, being open and having a 13-year-old. Like, it scares me.
Absolutely. And so I started jotting down these stories because my heart just was, I couldn't get over it. And I had the opportunity to actually publish them then. And my heart said, those aren't your stories. You can't, like, how do you do that?
Right.
Those aren't your stories. And so I actually have a banner with the name of the book and everything. I probably won't be using that banner anymore, but because really close to publishing these stories, I think it was called the Cannabis Chronicles, I think is what I can't remember, but that's the name on the banner. And I stopped because they weren't my stories. And I just said, we'll just wait. I'll gather more stories. And I came across this whole anthology concept. And I was like, here's a way that people can write their own stories, been navigate it, right? And I have my own story. What I shared from that patient that I met, and how I was in a health system that was incredibly unhealthy.
Right.
And how I was losing sight of what I believed in. I was losing sight of myself, and cannabis changed my life in a much different way. So for me, it wasn't, a health concern, but it changed my life because it gave me my confidence back. It gave me the reason I got into medicine in the first place.
Right.
It gave all of that back. The people, cannabis people are the most there's this image and the stigma that drives me nuts, because cannabis people are totally different from that.
Right.
These are the headstrong, hardworking. God forbid you say something bad about you got a longer line for cannabis than you have for anything else out there, right?
Right.
These are amazing, heart-filled people that have struggled with something that's been illegal for the wrong reason, and imprisoned sometimes. And that has been an incredible motivator for me. So if I could bring people together this is a teaching tool for non-believers,
right,
for doctors, for teachers, for churches, for parents that are ostracizing their children. So I saw this to be for people to just relate to when they're like, gee, I'm not alone.
Right.
So we have lawyers and patients and caregivers, moms that are using it for their kids, entrepreneurs like Joe, who really, took a step to make a difference in people's lives. Candy, who, oh my gosh. Well, Candy will tell you her own story. God bless her.
She's amazing. I love her to death.
Yes.
Sure.
So just how it could change and transform someone's existence. And if I can be a small part of that, then, I'm excited to be here.
I really do thank you, because you're giving me hope in the doctors, because I really have lost all hope in the pharmaceutical, MD, everything, because it seemed like they weren't listening. I got told it was all in my head. I was a pill seeker. I came out crying one day because my arm was killing me, and I kept telling them my arm's hurting. They're like, oh, you got tennis elbow, and gave me some pain meds. Well, a month later, I come back, it's still hurting. Nothing's wrong with your arm. Well, turns out I had bulging disc in my back and pinched nerves, and it was causing my arm to get hurt. And so it just frustrates me so much, because that when you doctors go in, you're doing it to help people. And it's got to be so frustrating for y'all to get into that and realize it's number game, it's a money game, and be like, what the hell did I just get into? I came here to help people. And so you give me hope that doctors are
the system. Yeah.
Right. They are caring about the people, and they do want to help. And they're just stuck in some system.
And keep in mind, for all of those stories, I've had those stories myself, that I've been to physicians that treated me horribly, right? And sometimes they didn't know I was a doctor, and sometimes they did. The system itself is so. If there's anything that we can do to shed a light and make them less part of the machine and more of the independent thinkers that they were going.
Yes.
Right.
Because I know they went in there to help people. They didn't say, oh, I'm just, you know what I mean? They went in there to help people.
It's too hard if you there's a lot of easier ways to make money, a lot more money, to be
Right.
honest, right? So that can't be the motivation. But the one thing that I often say to physicians is, because they're like, how do we talk to these cannabis patients? Oh, all of this. And I was like, yes, you have cannabis patients. This is not going away, but
Right.
you've always had cannabis patients. That's what you don't understand, right?
Yes. We just couldn't say
Oh.
nothing because we were called drug addicts, and then they wouldn't help us if we
Right.
say something. For sure.
Always like, it's the same person. It's the exact same person. Absolutely.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Bridget Williams. Thank you for coming on. The same, I said the same to you, love. Anytime you have anything going on that you want to let the cannabis community know about, you're always welcome to come on. And go ahead and tell people where they can find you, Miss Bridget.
Absolutely. Well, I will tell you that we're doing a book tour, and we're launching this in North Carolina with one of our authors, Franny Tacey, in Asheville, North Carolina. And we'll have information about that out on our Facebook page soon and on our website. So the website is CourageInCannabis.com. And our Facebook page is the same, or you can find it at Courage in Can books Facebook page. And we'll be doing a book tour event with Joe at the Columbus Botanical Depot on, I believe, March 30th.
Awesome.
And so look for dates where together, do testimonies and share stories. And so it's about us sharing the stories in the book from the authors, but it's also that we want to hear the stories from the audience as well. So
heck yeah, I love that.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Bridget. Same goes to you. You can hang around or you can drop off. I know you're busy. And then I'm going to bring Miss Candy on. Hey, love. Let's see. Candy. Yay. You hear me, love?
Are you there?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you.
Yes.
How are you?
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me.
For sure. For any time, you know that. Anytime you need me, I'm here.
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Heck yeah. Well, I know that we've had you on before, but I want to go in again to your cannabis story and talk a little bit about the book and everything. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of let you have the floor like I did with Joe, and just tell everybody about why you got involved in this project and what your story is.
So why I got involved in the project was cannabis saved my life. Try and help others understand that it is a natural way of healing and it's natural medicine for us. We're not doing it for other reasons, or we are actually, it's our quality of life. I know back in before 2016, I was a different person. I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for cannabis. So my way of, Kate, I want to help others not go through and spend the time that I did. I feel like I wasted 8 years of my life
Right
on pharmaceutical drugs, and gosh, I was on 16 different medications. On top of that, I had a morphine pump.
Wow.
I'm struggling daily. I was struggling daily to just be able to be normal. After, everything I went through in 2016, come January 2000, I know how I was going to do it, but, I kind of lost hope. So when they approached me with that, and I tried it and it helped, it was absolutely amazing to actually feel normal and be able to live as close to normal life.
Right.
Actually was able to be a mother, a wife, a daughter, a friend, a sister, actually able to step out some and share, that it took me a while. I didn't come out right away because I was ashamed and the stigma. But when Dr. Bridget approached me and we met at Lucky Leaf Expo. I'm not sure which one of them, but I was like, heck yeah, let's do it. Like, because that's pretty much how we're going to be able to get rid of this stigma and, testimonies and share our story and help others, And I know a lot of people still judge us, but I know it's going to stay with us,
Well, isn't that
But
crazy too?
healed me.
Because, right. Isn't that crazy? Because we were judged for a plant that doesn't have any really bad side effects other than it might make you go to sleep if you take too much. But there's no stigma about all the Xanax and the hydrocodone. Like you can be in church, popping a Xanax.
That's not a bad side effect.
Right. No bad side effects. Exactly. And for them to have such a stigma about cannabis, but then, the pills is okay. It's like, I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard.
Candy, I think
I'm sorry.
I think we met in Dallas, right?
Did I meet you in Dallas?
I don't think it was Austin. It had to be Dallas.
Then it was
Candy. Okay.
Then it was Dallas.
I met Dallas. Did you go down there, Candice?
I don't think I was there. I've been in a lot of conventions though, so I wasn't sure if maybe I had met you in one of the conventions and just didn't know. But I don't think we did.
I think you were in Austin.
Yes. Hell yeah. I think the internet connection's being stupid. Okay, so I think we got a froze internet. Let's see. Maybe it went better. There we go. Okay. Yeah. It's back now. It went froze for a minute.
Yeah, no, I think I met Candy in Dallas, but Candice, are you going around to the conferences as well?
Well, I go to a lot of like the Texas Hemp conventions but I didn't know about this convention, or I will definitely try to be at the next one that's in either Dallas, Fort Worth area.
Yeah, I think Candy, if you're still working with them, I know I'm going to Albuquerque, I think next month.
Yes.
And then
next month.
And what we're hoping to do, and I hope I find out, that's another thing that we're doing, that with the Lucky Leaf, we're going to do a Courage in Cannabis. I'm putting this out in the universe so that if they're listening, that they will go with this. But we're
manifesting it.
Absolutely.
The Lucky Leaf Expos. Yes, I've been to those. I've been to a couple of them, I think. One of them at least. One of them for sure.
Going to do a Courage in Cannabis workshop, which brings authors in to tell their stories. And then depending on their story, we have experts that kind of give the information that kind of supports it and creates discussion for the audience. Awesome. And so if medical issues, we'll have like physicians and specialists. If it's entrepreneurs, we might have conversations about business or social equity or education. Will be very different from the next because different authors will present, but it gives an opportunity for the book to be live, right? So it's awesome. Not just the story that you read in the book, but you're actually interacting with the author.
Heck yeah, that is awesome. Yes, now that you said Lucky Leaf, yes, I have been to a couple of those conventions and I definitely will be at the next one in Dallas. Y'all do a great job throwing those. and it's very educational. And I love meeting all the cannabis people that show up there, and it's just a great time. So if anybody, check those out for real. Go to the, where is it? LuckyLeafExpo.com, or is there a website for it?
Yes. They're on Facebook and Instagram, LuckyLeafExpo.com also.
Yeah, Expo, because I think if you just go to Lucky Leaf, you end up at a pie store.
Got you. A pie store.
I look amazing. It's a bakery, I think, but Lucky Leaf
That's a crazy name for a bakery. Lucky Leaf.
Yeah.
Well, cool deal.
A little.
I know. I apologize. I think that my internet is being crazy or something, but that's just how it is with freaking technology these days. But so Candy, I want you to tell people where to find you. And I know that your story with pharmaceuticals is just amazing, and how you got off of all of them. And how can people find you on Facebook and stuff and get your book?
They can find me at prolotexas@gmail.com and shoot me an email, Prolotexas LLC on Instagram, or Prolotexas CBD on Facebook. And or you could send me a private message through there, or just, you can find me my personal page, Candy Flores.
Heck yeah. I know I've been having a lot of people hit me up lately about pharmaceuticals, and that they're wanting to get off, and how do you do it, and stuff like that. So I don't know if you talk to people like that or not, Bridget.
Yes.
But I'm always telling them,
Yes.
I'm always telling them, I'm not a doctor, but this is what I did, and I don't recommend you ever going off of anything cold turkey. But I would really love to recommend the next people that hit me up about that to talk to Bridget if she would do that.
Absolutely. So we definitely do it through my office, Green Harvest Health. But what I will tell you that if you buy this book, and this is something that people might not realize, there is a bio and a contact for every author.
Heck
And
yeah.
I will tell you, it is a book full of knowledgeable, amazing people. So I am definitely always available to do that. I do consultations all over the US, and I work with people's physicians, and that's how we make change, by bringing together, right?
I love that.
I will tell you that, yes, you will read these amazing stories in the book, but you also get to connect with these people that might be sharing a story that can change your life, right?
Right.
And what an amazing opportunity. So definitely buy the book, but definitely connect with the author of the book, because they did this for a reason. And they did it to change lives, without a doubt. And I will tell you, you have two of the best ones here, two very different stories, but two very, first of all, if you have ever, and I've told people this all the time, but if you are interested in getting into the cannabis industry, Joe did it with the biggest heart. He did it for the right reasons, and that's what made him successful.
Right.
And reading a story will drive that home. And if you have any question about the power of cannabis, you will have no questions after reading Candy's story.
Heck yeah.
And obviously, this as well, the transformation. I tell people this all the time, meeting Candy, and she's this ray of light and so wonderful and bubbly. And the first time that I really read her story, I was like, oh, someone put the wrong name on here. That was my response, because I was like, that can't be the same person.
It's true. The transformation is amazing. I get people telling me that all the time. And before I wouldn't even leave my room. I was a hermit, because I was scared I was going to have a panic attack. And now I'm out holding flags on the side of the road, screaming, free the weed. Y'all got to listen, that this works. This is a great plant. And I never would have done that before. It's a transformation process that it takes you through is amazing.
Absolutely. And what I want people to really understand, and I had a conversation about this earlier, that people are like, oh, you're doing it because you're high. No, the cannabis works with your endocannabinoid system to make you normal.
Yes.
And what
Yes.
normal is different for you and it's different for me. So like this normal, there isn't a definition of normal, right?
Right.
But it allows you to balance out your body so that it works the way that it should work for you.
Yep.
So
Homeostasis.
absolutely. It's not about, oh, well, you're doing that because no, it's not about that. And I find that incredibly annoying.
Right.
It's about normalizing, balancing your endocannabinoid system so that it works right for you.
For sure.
That is called normal, right?
Well, people don't understand that. Oh, well, they do because they take medicine. They know that after you take something for so long, you build up a tolerance. So the high that I got my first time getting stoned, giggling and laughing and all that isn't the same high I get now. It doesn't really do that for me anymore. It just levels me out and makes me calm. And I don't have to worry about that panicky heart race, my thoughts racing in my head anymore. Like it just slows everything down for me. And you're right. It's not about the high for these people. It's about getting better. And you get high on hydrocodone. So hush is what I say.
I can't. There's so much that I could say. You know,
Right.
I have oh my God, the story.
No, I totally get you. And luckily I can say that. Buy the book for sure.
And there's stories about addiction in the book as well. And so there's something for everybody, which I absolutely love. When God puts the right people in the right place, that's what happened in this book without a doubt. And take a look at this book. We have the CourageInCannabis.com website where everyone's links are listed, because you can buy it from Amazon, which is great, but buy it from the author that wrote the story you love.
Right.
So buy it from buy it from Joe, so that you can, it's not about the bigger picture. If you love that story, buy it from the author that you love. So
For sure. Hell yeah. I know I'm going to be getting one soon for sure. I want to read it. And to all y'all go out, get this book. You're supporting amazing people. They throw these conventions, Lucky Leaf Expo, and educate people, and great doctor that has a heart, man. If you're going to support any doctor, support Dr. Bridget. And y'all are just amazing. Thank y'all so much. Bridget, thank you for joining me today. I know you're busy.
Let's get the other authors on with you, because like I said, every story is different, and I love each and every one of them. So
for sure. I'd like to do like a monthly series, or maybe in every other, with a couple of the authors, and just introduce those authors to everybody.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Much love and respect to all y'all. Thank you all so much for coming on. And I will definitely be chatting with y'all again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Heck yeah. Man, I'm telling you. Great people, y'all. Great group of people. This is just what I've been saying. We need to get the stories out there. We need to get everyone's, because they don't relate. They might not relate to my PTSD, but they may have a child that is going through seizures right now, and they're at a loss as to what to do. Like, they're like freaking out because they don't know how to help their niece or grandchild. And then they're going to hear a story about you and how you helped your child with seizures, or how you got off pharmaceuticals and you don't have to take any of that anymore, or it helped you come off a drug like meth and it helped keep you off of it. There's so many different stories about how cannabis is helping, and it all has to do with our endocannabinoid system. We don't learn about that in school. The doctors aren't being taught about this, but it's very important to educate yourself about it, because there's a lot more to it than just getting high, like she said. Yes, people use it to get high. Yes, but but not these patients that we're talking to. That's not their case. A lot of these people that are cannabis users aren't people sitting on the couch getting stoned. They're people like me and Dr. Bridget and Candy who have a functioning, stable life, have kids, have a husband, a family, go to work every day. And we got to break that stigma. We've got to change the way people think. And man, go get that book, Courage in Cannabis. Go hear about those stories and support good people, y'all. Good people. So I know I'm running on about an hour now. I don't want to take up too much of everybody's time, but I did want to thank so much one of my friends, Natalie. She will be on soon. I think next month, the middle of next month, on Canna Corner. She sent me these candles, man. They are amazing. They're called Nature's Court All Natural Aromatherapy Candles. This one is apple cinnamon, which I don't know how she knew, but like one of my favorite flavors is cinnamon, and I love apple cinnamon. And it has, I don't know if you could see these little flower pieces on top. It's so pretty. Smells so good. For all my stoners out there, all my people who smoke weed, great candle to cover up that smell. You can find them at www.etsy/shop/Nature's Court. And you can find it on Instagram too. Little tea candles and candles. Thank you so much, love. She sent me some stickers and other stuff too, but I wanted to let her know that I was gonna tell everybody because it's a great product. And when I come across great products, I like y'all to know about it. So heck yeah. Love y'all so much. Big shout out to all our sponsors. We got the Human Solution International, KM 420 Radio, WJAE 420 Radio, Go Green Botanicals, Relevant. Man, so many sponsors. We couldn't do this without y'all. Thank you to all the listeners and everybody who came on. If you want to come on and share your story, contact me at cannacorner20@gmail.com and tell me about your story and let me know, and we'll get it out there because that's what the show is about. If you have a product that you would like for the cannabis community to know about, we do that too. So you have a product you want to talk about, definitely can get you on every Monday at 7. So y'all come check us out. Love y'all. Peace.